Hello everyone, this is Arndolf playing MechWarrior. Today I'm just going to be showing you a few more things of how to play MechWarrior outside of combat. Last time we covered the best ways of playing how to duplicate a champion mech without actually having to purchase one with MC. Today I'm just going to go ahead and show you a few different things such as the experience and how to use it on the basic tiers. So with any mech that you get, let's go ahead and go over to skills. You find it right here. And you've got a list of all your mechs. This symbol right here shows that I have completely mastered the Locust mech because the gold right there. Same with that right there. It doesn't mean I've mastered all the variants. It just means that I've unlocked 3 chassis and gone all the way up from basic to elite to master. Let's go ahead and go to a mech that I haven't completely mastered yet, the Kit Fox. Alright, as you can see, on this one variant of the Kit Fox, I've unlocked all the basic tiers on this, and then you've got the Elite and the Master. So with this, the benefits is, like right here with the Cool Run, you increase heat dissipation by 7.5%, which means your heat dissipates that much faster. 7.5% is nothing to sneeze at. When you are simply running a trial mech that you don't own, you can't unlock these. So one of the benefits of actually purchasing the mech. Kinetic bursts, increase battle mech acceleration by 7.5%. Twist, increase the maximum amount a battle mech can twist its upper torso by 2.5%. Believe it or not, that actually makes a difference. Increase the maximum heat threshold before a battle mech shuts down by 10%. Also, that comes in handy. Hard break. Increase battle mech acceleration by 7.5%. When you suddenly realize you've walked into a really stinking bad situation and realize you want to stop really fast, hard break and kinetic burst can help loads with getting out of nasty situations like that. Twist speed. If you're someone who has learned to twist your torso, get hit on the arm instead of your center torso, then twist back and fire. That's one of the main benefits that elite players like to use. Otherwise, it just helps you twist your upper torso faster to respond to threats and other some such. The arm reflex. Increase the speed at which a battle mech can move its arms by 2.5%. So there is the arm lock. When the arm lock is off, your arms move separately from your torso. Mind you, you move your bullseye, and it basically moves at the speed of your arms when arm lock is off, and then your torso catches up. So all torso-mounted weapons will catch up with that. But if, let's say, you've got some heavy weapons on your arms and you see someone coming around a corner, you quickly twitch your arms over, fire. It basically increases your response time. Okay, and then finally anchor turn. So the amount of speed of which your legs turn, thus moving your entire mech with them, increases by 2.5%. Once again, seems like a meager amount, it makes a difference. Alright, and then you've got the elite tier, quick ignition. Start up and shut down sequences sped up by 33%. That actually makes a huge difference. I was in my Battle Master once facing off with a dire wolf. The dire wolf, I shut off before the dire wolf. And while I was shut off, I saw him shut down. And then I saw him start up before me. And then blow me up. I was trying to wrap my mind around that when I realized he must have quick ignition. Which means he's gotten, through all the basic tiers on 3 variants. Thus so he could unlock the elite tier. Well, then you've got your fast fire. Weapon cooldown rate increased by 5%, which is a big deal for me because on mechs like my Trebuchet, where I've got the module unlocked that decreases cooldowns by 12%, and an extra 5% makes a difference. Pinpoints. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on pinpoints. Weapon convergence speed increased by 15%. From what I'm told, it basically just means all your weapons, such as like when you got your arm lock off, you move your arms over, all weapons converge on the same point faster. I don't myself know exactly what that means. I've heard that it's actually a relic of an older model of MechWarrior from long ago. I'm still trying to verify. And one of the by far handiest of the elite tier is increased top speed by 7.5%. In other words, maximum top speed is increased. That used to be 10%, they nerfed it. Kind of sucks, but they must have had their reasons. And then finally, module slots. So for those of you who are familiar with equipping modules, an extra module slot also means for weapon slot, as well as for simply mech slots. I'll go ahead and cover that more later in case there is people who don't know what that does for you. Okay, so we've covered all that. Now, the different costs of these. Cool Run's about 750 regulation XP, or if you wanted to, you could spend GXP on it, but I recommend saving your GXP. Kinetic Burst is about 1,000. Twist X, I think, is 2,500. Heat Containment is 1,000. Hard Break is 1,500. Twist Speed is, I believe, 1,500, but it could be 2,500. Arm Reflex, I believe, is 2,500, and Anchor Turn is 3,500 XP. Quick Ignition, I believe, is 6,000. Fast Fire, I believe, is 4,000. Pinpoint, I believe, is 3,000. And Speed Tweak is about 8 grand experience, while the module slot is 20,000 with change. That I can actually go confirm really quick because I haven't completely mastered my Hero Mech Trebuchet. Yes, 21,500 experience to fully unlock and master your mech for that last module slot. Once you actually master it, unlock something on here, it doesn't show you the price anymore. So I'm just naming these off of memory. Okay, so now moving back. Let's go ahead and go to pilot trees. Now this is where your GXP comes in handy. Let's see, your advanced zoom ups your magnification by 4 times. A regular zoom is just 2. So the advanced zoom is if you've got a sniper mech or you simply want to be able to see your enemies up close and personal. Advanced zoom is a great thing to get and it only costs 2 million C-bills, which, believe it or not, is a lot less than most of the other modules. For example, other modules like Advanced Target Decay, it basically, when a mech leaves your line of sight, it allows you to continue tracking that mech for 3.5 seconds, and there's 2 tiers to this. There is the first one, which I believe cost about 5,000 GXP. The second one cost 7,500 GXP. Once again, it doesn't actually tell you what they cost after you unlocked it. So, I'm theorizing there. A lot of these modules cost up to, and the maximum price for any module is 15,000 GXP. And then, of course, you actually have to purchase the module with C-bills, which I will show later. The next modules that I'm looking to unlock are things like the improved UAV. I want to be able to deploy a UAV, and it makes it so the UAV is active for another 15 seconds. I'll end up putting that probably on the very mech that you see here, my Trebuchet. Also, things like Cool Burst, I'll probably end up putting that on my King Crab. It increases the cooling effects of all cool shots by 20%, which my King Crab gets doggone hot really fast. Cool Shot 9x9 increases Cool Shot 9 to do an additional 9 heat per second for 1 second. Cooling for a total of 18 consumed on use. Once again, not bad. Something I'll probably get further down the road. Then you've got all your other ones, improved artillery, improved airstrike, etc., etc., etc. We're going to go ahead and just move to consumables. These are your consumables. Already pretty much covered most of those. Your mechs. Shock absorbance, speed retention, like shock absorbance when you fall off a high area, you come down, you hit, your legs get damaged. Lights, with this module, which will cost you 15,000 GXP to unlock, light mechs can take an extra 35%. I think, let's see, it takes 35% less damage, or it can fall an extra 35% more before taking damage. It doesn't quite make that clear to me. Alright, target info gathering decreases the amount of time required for detailed target information by 25%. So when you lock onto an enemy mech, and you're the one who actually locked onto it because you had line of sight, a lot of things can mess up getting the targeting data faster. This basically allows you to get that detailed targeting data 25% faster. It can be really awesome. Especially if you want to know exactly what the enemy is that you're facing and what they've got, because when you do get that information, it tells you what weapons that mech has. Okay, here. Alright, moving on to weapons. Alright, now, even though all of these are only like 500 GXP a piece at the surface, they actually get really expensive really fast. Because every time you unlock one of these, you say 0/5 for the SRM2 range. That means that it's 500 GXP for the first one, 600 for the second, 700 for the third, 800 for the fourth, and 900 for the fifth. That adds up to 3,500 GXP for every single one, which, as you can imagine, gets pricey really fast. I've saved up right now 18,000 GXP, and I very much intend to use that further down the road when I find other kinds of weapons that I want to master. My Locust currently doesn't have any modules on it, and I'll end up probably either getting an enhanced machine gun or possibly modifying the medium lasers I have on it to improve those. In any case, let's see here. As you can see, these are the different kind of weapons I've experimented with. My medium laser range, medium pulse laser range, autocannon 20 range. Anyone who's familiar with this game knows that increasing autocannon range, even with the maximum 10%, isn't going to make that big of a difference. But hey, it was my king crab. I had GXP floating around. I mastered it. Okay. Then for that Kit Fox I was showing you earlier, I have 3 AMSs on that thing. This increases the AMS rate of fire by 10%. And I have also an increased range on that. And the thing already had quirks that upped the range and upped the rate of fire. So that Kit Fox is basically the bane of LRM boats. Not just because of the 3 AMSs mounted on its back, because it has an ECM as well. So wherever I go, I really mess up enemy LRM boats. And besides that, though, let's see, what was that kicker on that? Well, I don't remember that bit. If I remember it later, I'll bring it up. Also, one thing I want to point out, for those of you who are getting into this game and are trying to experiment, be aware that when you say CL, you see the CL medium pulse laser range, and I'm going to go back up here, see medium pulse laser range, these are technically for the same weapon, except when it doesn't say CL, it basically means that it's an inner sphere. They should just put IS, but they don't. So, no CL, it means inner sphere. There are differences between your inner sphere mechs and your clan mechs. Very important to remember. Had a friend who accidentally wasted 3,500 GXP on the wrong module because he put it into a inner sphere one when he was meant to put it into a clan weapon. So he ended up having to save up another 3,500 GXP so he could unlock the correct module after that. Very important, especially if you don't have a whole lot of GXP. The only reason why I have so much is because I currently am not experimenting with other weapons right now. As I buy other mechs and get more, basically play styles, I'll unlock more of these. GXP, always handy. A lot of people just master one type of weapon, especially for only one type of mech, and never experiment after that. You should really, always look outside the box. Study other people's play styles. See what's good for you. You know, it's great to get into your comfort zone, but branch out of the comfort zone sometimes. Experiment with other weapons. Okay. Well, we've covered that. Of course, there's the range modules. There's the cooldown modules. And then there's the miscellaneous, such as the AMS overload, which increases the rate of fire by 10%, and the enhanced narc. Increase projectile speed by 20%, increase duration by 30%. The Narc is very handy for LRM boats. If you're a light mech with a Narc, you are the best friend of every LRM boat on your team, because once a Narc hits an enemy mech and then starts broadcasting, I believe it neutralizes the ECM on that mech and then broadcasts to all your allies. So if that mech's not in cover, or if that mech's not under the ECM of another mech, that mech now is being targetable by every single mech on the battlefield on the enemy team from it. Which, for LRM boats, then means that they can rain on it like crazy, because that Narc also increases the accuracy of those LRMs, those long-range missiles. Which has its pros and cons. It actually kind of makes it so the missiles fly at the target in a straighter arc, which can be good. However, if the mech is in cover, sometimes when they go further up and then come down, that's better. The Narc moves straight at them, so then it hits like the building they're in cover behind. Pros and cons, pros and cons. Okay. Alright, so we've talked a little bit about those. One of the things that I covered the last time that I made a video about MechWarrior was the different kinds of battle mechs you have in the Champion and Hero. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Trebuchet again. And here is the Champion mech. You know, when the thing flips around here, you're going to see chassis bonus, XP, 30%. So every time you're running with a Champion mech that you've purchased, and you have to use MC to purchase it, which stands for MechWarrior credits, you're going to get a 30% experience bonus, which stands for Regulation XP, which is what you're going to see right here. And then there's going to be your GXP, both of which will be enhanced by that. The Hero mech, on the other hand, is going to have a 30% C-bill bonus. So every time you take that sucker out, you're going to be getting more C-bills, which is the in-game currency. I myself, since I just save up MC and I don't put a penny into this game, I'm not into free-to-pay buy-to-win games. However, I like MechWarrior lore-wise. I loved it long before I even discovered there were video games. I got into the Mech Commander series, and now that this game's out, I am definitely into it on practical principle alone. However, it also has a lot of gameplay that I like about it. I just wish they'd expand on it. Regardless, I won't put a penny into it because it is a free-to-pay with buy-to-win aspects. However, since they have events now where you can save up MC, that makes me want to play it even more, especially during the events where you can get the MC. And I have purchased the Locust's Pirate Bane Hero mech because it has a perk none of the other Locusts can get. It has an ECM suite that you can put onto it. And then the Loup de Guir, and I'm pretty sure I didn't pronounce that right, but whatever, has 4 missile hardpoints, which no other Trebuchet has. And I like to be able to equip 4 LRM-5s and basically bring the reign of terror on an enemy, because even though you're only pounding them with LRM-5s, the mental effect of being hit by those in a constant stream is demoralizing. And so it's one of my favorite things to do to enemies. Plus, you get the 30% C-bill bonus, which, you know, who's going to argue with that? So that's something that I go for. My next hero mech that I'm going to save up for is going to be a heavy, so that I've got a light, medium, and a heavy, and then eventually after that's going to be an assault. However, due to the small amounts of MC that you win, it's probably going to take me upwards of a year to save up that much MC. Bit difficult, doable, but difficult. Reason why I push through for that long to do that much is because I simply love MechWarrior. If you're looking for a game and you're not 100% sure that, MechWarrior is not what you love, and you don't want to just pour money into it, you might want to look into a different game. Just my recommendation. However, if you're okay with pouring money into a game, MechWarrior's the game for you. It really is. Let's see. Besides that, alright, one of the next things I wanted to cover was just the faction play. Now, as you can see here, you've got all your different factions, which, technically speaking, are all at war with each other. We'll go ahead and just, this is Steiner, the blue. Merrick is the purple. Liao is the green. Davian is the yellow, Kurita is the red, and this lighter blue is Rosalga. And I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, whatever. Now, those were the Inner Sphere factions. This is Jade Falcon, which is a lighter, let's see, this is a lighter green. Jade Falcon's a slightly darker green than Leo. Then you have your rust-colored red, almost brown, of the wolf. And the clans are currently getting their petards kicked. The last time PGI did an update, they massively rebalanced it, so the Inner Sphere has some serious advantage, so the clans are getting ground into the dust. And some major factions such as Mercenary Star and I believe Swall switched over from the clans to the Inner Sphere, so then they could have those advantages. My favorite clan faction, the Ghost Bears, is this kind of whitish one. Very similar to the color of Rosalga. And then finally there is Smoke Jaguar, which is this kind of strange greenish color here. They're also, all the clans are currently getting kicked right now. Especially by Rosalga. They had, I believe, MS, Mercenary Star, joins them. My favorite Inner Sphere faction is Kurita. And currently I am with Merrick, as you can see up here. But my particular units, we vary from house to house and from clan to clan. Gathering mech bays, meeting people, training up new people when we can, and sending them on their way, that kind of thing. And the only planet out of all of these that isn't technically owned by any of the clans or Inner Sphere is Terra, which, as you can see, occupying unit is nothing, but it has the PGI symbol on it. Oh. And to close in on one of these, such as this Steiner one, you'll see it doesn't have an occupying unit, but its symbol is Steiner. I will go over the faction play a little bit more in the future. However, that was just a quick rundown of it. Now, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to field them. I'd love to answer your questions. However, if you like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it. Otherwise, it was great seeing you, and I look forward to seeing you in the battlefield. Don't get into too much trouble, or do. Always up to you.